never marry an artist. You'll spend your golden years under a hail of lateral thinking, losing every argument to your burden of rationality. Besides, she'll steal your measuring tape. You reckon the upshot on onions, on glaciers, a cause worthy enough, I suppose. But every man needs a tape, you know. And when the going gets rough, she'll haul you into the bathroom, strip you down, make you look in the mirror until your bald self and the shadow world switch places. And there you are, staring at the back of your head, but it belongs to someone else. Or she'll start digging holes in the front yard where you just finished mowing and raking. And she'll pile up the dirt like a D9 cat. And when you ask her what the plan is, she looks at you like your knuckles drag on the ground. She'll call up a friend, another artist I'm sure, talk in some primordial language full of clucks and snorts. And you know she's on about you, but no idea where this is going. You feel like a dish rag hung out on the line to dry, flopping in the wind, the clothespin biting your shoulder. I think I started writing poetry around the age of 10, grade 5. I had a teacher who didn't like me very much. She thought I was a bit disruptive, but she couldn't get over the fact that I wrote well, so that made it hard for her to discipline me.
I think I started painting when I started to take my dance career seriously. They seemed to go hand in hand, and I was about 18 at that time. And I found that painting somehow related to dance. And I wanted to learn to paint. I was living in Vancouver and a couple of my friends were artists and I loved what they did. And so they were teaching me how to oil paint. I was actually quite late coming to art college because I had been studying dance, of course, in my 20s. And then I tobogganed down Mount Norquay one New Year's Eve and broke my ankle. For 4 summers, I did fire lookouts, and that seemed to gear me back into the visual arts more. And from there, I went on to art college. And from there, I went on to grad school, and I graduated in 1988 from the Nova Scotia College of Art and Design.
The collaboration between Wanda and I is a very natural thing. I think that that's what first attracted us to each other is the fact that we both have creative minds. Wanda is a great artist. She has a lot of formal background in art. I don't. I'm very much a sort of self-taught artist. My father was a very good writer, and he was an intellectual. He wrote heady stuff, philosophy. He wrote a novel, so he was always the writer, and I was interested in writing because of him. When I got out of college, I worked with him for a while. He had a magazine, and I got some experience in journalism. And he published my first poem in the magazine, and he was actually quite surprised because my dad always said that he couldn't understand poetry, and that had me. For that reason, I needed to write poetry. Doc, I would trade this bum knee for a cold beer and a pack of smokes, and I don't even smoke, but baby I can drink, so pour me another one, Jack, and let me tell you how I used to be a star. The spoken word stuff came out of some suggestions that young poet friends of mine had when they heard the kind of stuff that I was doing. It was very kind of blue collar, kind of raucous. It really came out of my blue collar work. It was very animated. So they encouraged me to go and do some slams in Calgary. But I had some theater background and I felt comfortable on stage. So I tried it and I loved it. I liked being in front of an audience. But then when I discovered that I could create virtual music with various programs, I was able to take the time that I needed to really work on the music and fit it to the poetry.
I have to say that Tim is one of the most patient people I have ever met. And that's because I'm one of the most impatient people I have ever met. And so working together, it works because of his patience, and it works because of my energy.
She's my best critic. She's also my greatest fan, and that's how it should be, isn't it?
And we have a lot of fun. I mean, we laugh a lot about, well, what if we do this? I wonder what somebody would think about that. And so then we just do it and we see what happens. Our whole life has been kind of like that.
I have a structural background, and with her sculpture, there's a lot of physical stuff that she has to work out, and we spend a lot of time talking about that, how to actually physically do something.
I believe that art itself is transformative. I believe it can change people's lives, and I've seen it change people's lives. I think the community here knows that intuitively, and they strive to make culture and art a real solid experience. We Paint is an event in which there are at least 20 to 25 people that come with the idea that they're going to have a glass of wine and they're going to create a painting in 2 hours. And pretty soon, before you know it, they've got a finished painting on their easel and they're really happy. And so am I. Canmore is really a great kind of melting pot of creativity. And it's a supportive community, and that, I think, is the key. Arts Place has been fantastic for this community. Don't talk about the idea, just do it. So that's my mantra.
Yeah.